good evening. Thanks for joining us for the Wednesday edition of Source 16 News at 10. Well, we now have more information on a developing story we brought you at 6. About 40 firefighters battled a large fire this afternoon at a Hopkinsville recycling center that sent billowing black smoke into the blue sky and could be seen for miles.
I was downtown and everything. I saw the black smoke coming up, and so when I turned down the end of the road here and came up here, so you could see it all the way from 6th Street. I was over there by the 68 there. You can see it that far. A friend of mine was standing out on the porch. She was right there by Western Hills Golf Course.
Around 4:20, Highland volunteer firefighters were dispatched to a huge fire involving dozens of salvaged vehicles at TransStar Recycling and Auto Parts. That's the old Utley's Auto Salvage at 1125 Bypass Road, which is located between Pinneral Parkway and Greenville Road. Once on the scene, Christian County Emergency Management Director Randy Graham says Highland requested assistance from Crofton, Fairview, Lacey, and West Side volunteer fire departments. While Source 16 was on the scene, several small explosions were heard from the pile of vehicles. According to Graham, there were no reports of injuries, but around 5:55, an ambulance was called to the scene for a firefighter who possibly suffered heat exhaustion. Around 6:30, emergency personnel paged the other 9 volunteer fire departments in Christian County to respond to the scene to provide mutual aid. Graham also told Source 16 that the Kentucky Department of Environmental Protection has been called to the scene. At this time, it is unknown what sparked the fire. The President and Vice President of the United States plans to visit the local Army post Friday. According to reports out of Washington, President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden will travel to Fort Campbell to address service members returning from Afghanistan. The reports say the visit continues a series of military-themed events Obama has taken part in since a successful mission he ordered that resulted in the killing of Osama bin Laden. Meanwhile, several local leaders this afternoon officially recognized the selfless sacrifices of military service members, especially Fort Campbell troops. Hopkinsville Mayor Dan Kemp, Oak Grove Mayor Dan Potter, and Christian County Judge Executive Steve Tribble proclaimed May as Military Appreciation Month in Christian County.
They do such a great job for all of us, and I hope that we can continue to do our best to show our appreciation. And there's so much that we owe the men and women of the 101st.
The proclamation was then presented to Fort Campbell Garrison Commander Colonel Perry Clark of Oakland, Maryland.
On behalf of, my boss, Major General John Campbell, and Command Sergeant Major Scott Schroeder, thank you. Thank you for this proclamation. It means a great deal to us and to our Fort Campbell community. We get, as a community, and you really see it, and I've really seen it as my job, taking care of the post for the boss, the general while he's gone, is really how this community comes together. Makes a huge difference.
The proclamation was made during a Military Affairs Committee meeting at the Hopkinsville Christian County Chamber of Commerce building. Police were investigating a bank robbery in Oak Grove that occurred earlier today. Oak Grove Police Lieutenant Adam Vanderkook told Source 16 a young Asian or Hispanic male between 18 to 25 years of age entered the BB&T Bank at 15,744 Fort Campbell Boulevard around 12:35 and walked up to the teller at the counter and handed her a note stating he wanted money. The lieutenant says the young man, wearing a blonde wig, dark sunglasses, and a blue dress shirt with a yellow tie, did not brandish a weapon during the course of the robbery, but the clerk complied with the note and handed over an unknown amount of cash. The man then started to exit the building, but turned back around and retrieved the note from the counter and then left in an unknown direction of travel. Oak Grove Police have started an investigation into the robbery, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations has been notified. If anyone has any information on the individual seen in the pictures, please contact Oak Grove Police at 270-439-4602 or Crime Stoppers of Oak Grove at 877-490-TIPS. Meanwhile, police have made an arrest in an armed robbery that occurred at Cash Express in South Fulton, Tennessee earlier today. Around 9:35 this morning, Kentucky State Police observed a vehicle fitting the description of the vehicle involved in the armed robbery at Cash Express located at 125 Broadway Street in South Fulton. A state trooper initiated a traffic stop on the vehicle, at which point one of the passengers fled on foot to a nearby apartment, but later turned himself into police. State police detained the driver and 2 other occupants in the vehicle until South Fulton police officers arrived at the scene and identified them as the robbery suspects. During a search of the vehicle, Kentucky State Police and Fulton police officers found marijuana, crack cocaine, and a firearm, which was positively identified as the weapon used in the robbery. State Police charged 19-year-old Christopher Brown of Fulton with carrying a concealed deadly weapon, first-degree possession of a controlled substance, and possession of marijuana. Fulton police served arrest warrants on all occupants relating to the robbery in South Fulton, Tennessee. Further investigation is pending by the South Fulton Police Department. Governor Steve Beshear today directed more National Guard troops to assist in flood response efforts in western Kentucky. Nearly 600 National Guard troops were sent to 6 counties as floodwaters continue to rise along the lower Ohio and Mississippi rivers, threatening homes and businesses. As reported at 6, about 3,800 residents in Fulton and Livingston counties have evacuated their homes since flooding began. Red Cross shelters housed 37 people Tuesday night in 4 locations, while others sought shelter with family and friends. The governor reports historic lake levels across the Commonwealth, and some controlled releases are underway at Lake Barkley and Kentucky Lake. According to the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet, about 265 roads are closed, affecting more than 50 counties. Callaway County residents cleaning up recent storm debris don't need to leave it at the curb. Kentucky Transportation Cabinet spokesman Keith Todd says that for some reason, residents of Murray are bringing tree limbs and other debris to the edge of the road, apparently expecting either the state or city to pick it up. However, he adds the debris will not be picked up by state highway crews or the city or county. According to Todd, individual property owners are responsible for removing and properly disposing of the debris, and there will be no pickup. A physical and mental evaluation for a Nashville woman accused of attacking the mayor's wife is incomplete. Christian County Circuit Court Judge Andrew Self provided prosecutor Lynn Pryor and attorney Nancy Callaway a copy of a report from a doctor with the Kentucky Correctional Psychiatric Center who requested more information to back up Lori Ann Little's claims she revealed during her evaluation. According to Callaway, Little was non-compliant with the doctor and refused a physical exam because she was not given enough time to shave and prepare for the exam. During her court appearance today, Judge Self denied a motion to release Little, who was holding a picture of a woman in her hands. Judge Self told Little's attorney until her client completes the KCPC exam, signs necessary documents, and provides necessary information, the motion to release her client would not be addressed. As we previously reported, Little was charged with first-degree burglary and fourth-degree assault after she allegedly went into Mayor Dan Kemp's Deepwood Drive home and forced her way into the residence and physically attacked his wife, Henrietta, on December 15th. Little is scheduled to appear in Christian County Circuit Court again on May 18th for a pretrial conference. The Mayfield Fire Department has donated 4 automatic external defibrillators to other entities in Graves County. The AED units were donated to the West Viola and Cuba Volunteer Fire Departments, Graves County Sheriff's Office, and the Senior Citizens Center. The AEDs were provided to the Mayfield Fire Department through a recent federal grant through the Health Resources and Services Administration. Fort Campbell officials hosted a change of responsibility ceremony at the local post today to welcome a new Rakasan leader. Brigade Sergeant Major Gregory Patton relinquished his responsibilities to Sergeant Major Eric Crabtree during the ceremony, which was held at the pylon across from the Donald Pratt Museum. Officials say the brigade command sergeant major is a senior enlisted soldier who serves as an advisor to the brigade commander on soldier training, morale and welfare, and career development, among other duties. Mayfield Police will be conducting traffic safety checkpoints in the Graves County area. Officers will be checking for children that are not properly restrained and child restraints, impaired drivers, and the use of seat belts. According to Mayfield Police, the safety checkpoints will be conducted in various locations throughout the city of Mayfield that are experiencing a high ratio of vehicular crashes resulting in injury and/or death compared to relatively low safety restraint usage ratio. Police say the approved road check locations in the city of Mayfield are on US 45, that's South 16th and 45, James and 45, 45 and Dick Castleman Bypass, Kentucky 121 from Dick Castleman Bypass to the Graves County High School entrance, Kentucky 5880 from Dick Castleman Bypass to Old Dublin Road, Kentucky 303 from Paris Road to Charles Drive, and 10th Street from Farthing Street to the southern city limits. Now here is Hopkinsville Christian County Crime Stoppers Coordinator Officer Paul Ray with the featured fugitives of the week.
This week, Hopkinsville police need your help locating 2 wanted fugitives.
Police are looking for 27-year-old Tommy David Powers, who's wanted on multiple felony charges. Powers is a white male who stands 6 feet, 4 inches tall and weighs 300 pounds. His last known address was the 400 block of Cave Street. Police are also looking for 26-year-old Elara Regina Settles, who's wanted for first-degree assault. Settles is a black female who stands 4 feet, 11 inches tall and weighs 130 pounds. Her last known address was the 100 block of South Vine Street.
If you know where police can locate these wanted fugitives, and we've got cash waiting for you. Pick up your phone now and call our tips line at 887-TIPS. If your information leads to an arrest, Crime Stoppers will pay you a cash reward. And remember, we will never ask your name, and you will not have to appear in court. Well, this week's Fugitive of the Week, I'm Officer Paul Ray for Crime Stoppers.
And tonight's Powerball jackpot is $36 million, and Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $12 million.